Welcome, Sagittarius. This is your weekly Teroscope reading for January the 4th through to the 10th, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you for your likes, your shares, for subscribing. Thank you just for showing up. Thank you for all the support that you give me each and every day. Now let's get to the energy of you. Let's get to the cards. And we have the High Priestess overlapping 3 cards, okay? So she's a little bit of magic. In love, she could actually be lust, okay? In spending, wanting things in our life, it could mean lust. So I would have to caution you this week not to overspend, not to do things impulsively, to stay grounded. Okay, because she can bring in that energy of I need it now and you didn't really need it, and we don't want regrets down the road of overspending or putting value on something that really didn't deserve the value that you were giving it, whether it is a job, a career, a group that you belong to. Maybe it's your stature in the community. Maybe it is something to do with family. So you want to stay grounded. You want to think things through, and you want to understand the value that it brings into your life or it won't bring into your life. Okay, so we don't want to see something sparkly and shiny and say, oh, I got to have that now, and putting out money on things that really are not going to bring you value long term into your life. So if there's, that's the one question you really need to ask yourself. Does this bring value to my life? Long-term value to my life. Now, it's crossed over, for starters, the Ace of Swords, and this is the aha moments. This is the epiphanies on the path forward, on making the next step forward. So maybe you are overthinking the, I see like a party happening. So you got a job, and so you want to go out and you celebrate too hard, and you're hungover your first day of work or something like that. This can very much bring in the epiphanies. This can very much bring in the insight, the intuition that you need to go forward, but you don't want to overplay it, okay? Because we have to keep in mind the High Priestess being part of this, okay? So she might make you go overboard in the celebration of an idea, or maybe you are seeing something as this great step or these great steps forward in your life. Maybe it is career, maybe it is a new business idea, and making it bigger and better than it really is. It's turning things that are realistic into unrealistic, and therefore they will flatline on you, and then you'll go, what went wrong? So it's bringing it down to earth. It's giving it structure. It's giving it foundation. It's giving it balance. And what kind of balance it brings into your life is very important. It's not saying that these are bad things in your life. You just don't want to overplay it. You don't want to blow it up into something that it was never meant to be. And it could even be, we have the happily ever after here. So not to say that great things aren't going to be happening for you, because I really do get within the cards that great things are going to be happening for you. And in saying that, I see you making them bigger than they are, or feeling more self-important, making it ego-driven, not keeping the humility intact, not keeping the path forward intact, of resting on your laurels. That could be another thing that you do, where you kind of hit this high point, and so you kind of walk around with your chest puffed out and your head held high and going, look at me. And the realization that it's really not about how great or grand you look, but your purpose and the feeling inside of the well-being, of the peace of mind, of the happiness and joy that it brings you. You don't want to explode that in any way, okay? Because we do have the happily ever after card here, which means that you are getting ideas, and actually not even just ideas, because the Ace of Swords is more of implementing the plan forward, but you know, you want to keep your ego in check. You want to make sure also that it actually does bring you value into your life, that it will lead you to your happily ever after. Or are you kind of being pushed into thinking, you know, where people are saying, oh, you're great at this and you'll do so wonderful and this is great and it's a long-term project and, you know, you're just fabulous for the part. And so you get all, you know, they've blown up your head and you think all these wonderful things because they told you all these wonderful things, and the realization down the road is that it's actually taking away from your happily ever after. So just think things through before you commit to them. Read the fine print, understand it, because I think things are going to come into play that it could be great and wonderful for you. But I just don't want other people planting that seed, so you say yes before and just sign on the dotted line before you really think things through. Okay, because it's the pulling in and thinking things through that are really going to matter this week for you, to understand how it brings value into your life. Will it bring value into your life? It might bring success beyond reason into your life. I'll be honest, okay? With the high priestess covering over your happily ever after, it could bring the biggest wow moments into existence in your life. Definitely there's potential for that for many of you, not just some of you, for many of you. Uh, uh, so you really have to ask yourself, you know, is this the greatness I want? Is this the greatness I'm going for? Is what I truly desire going forward? It's understanding the true value it really has in your life. So you don't want to just, I mean, the third card says it all. The Seven of Pentacles is, what are you cultivating? So you really need to, yeah, look long term at that big plan that you've got, that big goal, that desire, that dream, that passion. But also, what am I cultivating? If I do this today, is it really going to lead me down that same path, or is it going to make me do a U-turn somewhere and I end up in this exact same spot again 6 months or a year from now? Because we don't want that. What am I cultivating? So that's a very important question to be asking. What am I cultivating? Does it add value to my life? True value to my life? Not momentary value in my life. It's not just a quick fix for happiness or a band-aid over a sadness or some chaos or some struggles that you're going through, but it really brings in true value into your life. And I think there's many opportunities that could be presented to you. So just be careful of the ones that you say yes to, and make sure you're saying yes for the right reasons, not because somebody's built you up so that you take on a project that nobody else wanted and they've kind of conned you into this corner and now you've got to do it. Now it takes away from your path where you thought it was going to add so much to your path. Really know the facts behind what you are saying yes to, what you are obligating yourself to, what responsibilities that you are taking on. I think that's very imperative this week. Not that it's not great, wonderful things that could be happening to you. I don't want to give you the wrong message that, you know, if somebody offers you something to run away the other way. I don't think that is the meaning behind this. It's, you really have to look at it personally and say, you know, because there is always negotiation. It's not always this yes or no in our life. There is room for negotiation. There is this huge gray area that you can work with to bring it into line so that it actually suits your path forward, that it actually brings you in that abundance or joy that you are working towards. Now we have the Page of Pentacles. And this is really looking into the crystal ball and seeing what you want to develop, new beginnings, and the courage and the strength that you're going to need. Usually when we are going into a new path, we also have to give up something in our life. And sometimes it takes courage and it takes strength to move into the unknown. So, I mean, this is a lot of thinking, and you know, Sag, I know you just want to run with the torch and run faster than everybody else and meet the goal line and go for the big picture, but it's really not about the big picture this week. Even though you are looking at the big picture here, you also have to look at, what do I need to sacrifice in order to make this dream a reality, in order to make this goal a reality? Is it time spent with my family? Is it giving up a different passion of mine or a group that I'm associated with that I really enjoy? Is it long hours? Is it maybe going to impede on my health in some way or my spirituality in some way? Does it rest within my values and my morals? So I think that even though there's beautiful opportunities, I think there's a big gray area also for negotiation. And the negotiation is almost your own negotiation. Before you say it out loud to anybody, it's your own negotiation of how it brings value into your life. So, I mean, the one thing is a spontaneous purchase, you know, where you didn't think about it at all. You just saw it and you wanted it, and so you bought it, and then you're filled with a regret. It doesn't meet the value. It doesn't bring you towards your goal. It doesn't actually imply any kind of value into your life. So just make sure that you have that value. Excuse me. I had a candle going, and it's like it's getting caught in my throat. The smell was beautiful. It was lilac. It was just gorgeous. But um, I think it's overtaken the room. The Ten of Wands. Okay, now this is energy that you have come through. Okay, so the last 6 months, the last 4 months of really understanding what kind of obligations and responsibilities that you hold in your pack on your back here. Okay, there's some things that you are still hanging on to. You are not letting go of, and I've said this a lot to you over the last 6 months, over the last year, I think, of coming to the realization that some things need to be left behind on your path, okay? That some things are taking up precious time and energy in your life that don't need to be there, that are taking away from other avenues of growth and possibility in your life. Now, I think you've come to a point where there's an understanding, and maybe there's even some decisions that are going to be made. I don't really see any decisions this week, but I think they're coming soon. So this energy is still here, although not as strong as it was. Okay, so you might have gone through a whole, depending on your own personal path, but I think a lot of you have been thinking long and hard about your path forward and what you want to take forward, what obligations and responsibilities you have, what ones are necessary, what ones need to get off your plate in order for you to free up time and energy and resources to go into a path that you want, that you desire. So it still lingers, although I don't think it's strong. I think you've got a lot of it worked out in your mind, and then there'll come a time when you have to start implementing. I don't think the implementation is yet, though, okay, for the majority of you. Some of you might have to implement sooner than others, obviously, but for the majority of you, it's just knowing, okay? It's just knowing. That you have given it the time and the energy, and you've thought things through, and you understand where energy or time or resources have been wasted or used improperly, or being used and they serve no great value or purpose in your life going forward. We have the Seven of Swords, and this is, you know, this could be confrontations with people. This could be thinking that somebody values you a lot more than you and than they did. This could be coming to some sharp realization of who your real friends are. And the card that worries me the most in saying that is the Three of Swords down here, because this is pain and sorrow and suffering. So there could be a realization this week that you thought somebody had your back and they don't, or you thought you were being appreciated by somebody and you're not. Or this could be where you think that you have been showing somebody the way you feel about them and appreciating them and loving them, and they're not feeling it, and so there's a confrontation about that. So just to be forewarned, because I do get a lot of different things from this card. Some tarot card readers only have really one strong definition, and so I'm kind of leaning towards that one strong definition, that there could be hurt or sorrow from another that you weren't expecting. definitely that you weren't expecting, because it kind of tied in with this card in my mind, that you were thrown off guard. You weren't expecting it. You thought they had your back, or you thought they were happy in the relationship that you had, or the connection that you had, or the arrangement that you had. And things come to light, and you're going to have to deal with it. But I think it's through asking yourself, is there value? And if that person truly does bring value into your life, then you need to have the words, and you need to show them your love and appreciation for them. It could be a business partner, it could be somebody in the workforce or in the neighborhood, community, it could be somebody within the home, it could be a best friend, it could be a lover. So, um, you know, I guess the best way is to start this very moment of showing people that you love and appreciate them. But it could come to you that the person that you are showing that to doesn't feel the same way, and you thought they did. So that could be where the realization comes in. And I'm a very positive tarot card reader. I always look at the very positive, but if there's something that I need to warn you about, that I feel strongly that the majority of you are going to face a struggle like that, then to be forewarned is to be prepared. And so that you can deal with the energies effectively, so that you can work towards your happily ever after. Now, in saying that, we also have the Two of Cups here. And that's smack dab in the middle of it all, believe it or not. So this could be new partnerships, new relationships coming in, new passions, new desires, new dreams. That could actually be taking you away from, the other energy could be just somebody feeling like they're the third wheel, because your energy, your focus is so much in another area that they feel left out or discarded or not important in your life. Because this could actually be a passion or a dream that you are stepping into that's taking up your focus, it's taking up your time. Or it could be a new best friend, and your other friends feel like, well, guess we're yesterday's news. Okay, so it's very important to show people that you are grateful for them in your life, that you do appreciate them, and to explain, this is taking me out of here. I remember one time, I was taking on a huge commitment, and so I sat my children down and I said, listen, you're going to feel like I'm not even present in your life for the next, it was like a 3-month thing. And I'm going to be a little bit more inflexible. I'm going to not be there when you really need me, and you're going to have to make other arrangements. And after the 3 months, I'll be back, but I need you to understand this and appreciate what I'm going through. And so they did. And by the end of the 3 months, they were saying, oh, Mom, please, when is this going to end? Because we can't take another minute of this. And it did. It did end after 3 months, and they were very glad. I was very glad. But it was a commitment that I had to make, and a commitment that I had to follow through on it. And so the people that I love the most, which was my 3 children at the time, needed to know that they were still a focus in my life, but something else was going to overtake that focus for a short period of time. And I asked them for their love and their patience and their tolerance with me, and they gave it to me. A little less as towards the end, but they gave it to me nonetheless. So it might just be where you need to open the lines of communication with somebody. Okay. What else do we have here? The Hangman. And the Hangman kind of says what I've been saying all along, that you really need to weigh out options. So if you need to pull yourself into your cave and think things through, then definitely think things through. Okay, this is going to bring in balance. This is going to bring in understanding, clarity, and open up the doors to your perception so that you are seeing clearly. Yes, Peanut, I love you. So you are seeing clearly the direction that you are walking into. Now, as we go towards this weekend and into next week, we have the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. Okay, so now sixes is all about it's all about the home, the family, the love that's generated within the home and the family. Very much, and it's very much about you being the caregiver to somebody else, that they look towards you for their protection, their stability. And so keep that in mind. It is about your peace of mind. We have the Six of Cups. So it is about your peace of mind. This is honoring your inner child. Okay, so make sure that you are taking time for you. But the Six of Swords is the exciting part because this is really moving you forward in a path. This is moving you forward in the goals, the desires that you have set for yourself. This is moving you forward within a wisdom, within a strength, and it does include another person. There is one other person in that boat. And I think, you know, being two sixes together, this is somebody that is really going to need your help in moving along further in their path. But it enables you to move forward in your path as well. So maybe it gives you that empowerment. Maybe they come back to repay you in a million different ways that are all incredible and wonderful. But the important part is that as much as things might overtake you and wonderful opportunities might overtake you, you need to be there for that someone special this week, and it's going to matter long term. So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.